यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतोषि श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेशियल अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON BBT फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतोषि श्रीमद इस डिवाइन ग्रेशियल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज में वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय। जमुना माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। समावित भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita as it is, chapter number 18 and text number 5. Yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma na tyājyaṁ kāryam eva tat yajño dānam tapaścaiva pāvanāni manīṣiṇām yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् यज्ञ-दान-तपः-कर्मा न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दान-तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्
यज्ञ-दान-तपः-कर्मा त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्
यज्ञ-दान-तपः-कर्मा न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्
Others?
यज्ञ-दान-तपः-कर्मा न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् यज्ञ-दान-तपः-कर्मा न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् यज्ञ-दान-तपः-कर्मा न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत् यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम्
Yajña of sacrifice, dāna, charity, tapaḥ, and penance, karma, activity, na, never, tyājyaṁ, to be given up, kāryam, must be done, eva, certainly, tat, that, yajñaḥ, sacrifice, dānaṁ, charity, tapaḥ, penance, cha, also, eva, certainly, pāvanāni, purifying, manīṣiṇām, even for the great souls. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Acts of sacrifice, charity and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. The yogis should perform acts for the advancement of human society. There are many purificatory processes for advancing a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony, for example, is considered to be one of these sacrifices. It is called Vivāha-yajña. Should a sannyāsī who is in renounced order of life and who has given up his family relations encourage the marriage ceremony? The Lord says here that any sacrifice which is meant for human welfare should never be given up. Vivāha-yajña, the marriage ceremony, is meant to regulate the human mind so that it may become peaceful for spiritual advancement. For most men, this Vivāha-yajña should be encouraged even by the persons in the renounced order of life. Sannyāsīs should never associate with women. But that does not mean that one who is in the lower stages of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in the marriage ceremony. All prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving the Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the lower stages, they should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for purification of the heart. If charity is given to suitable person, as described previously, it leads one to advanced spiritual life. Om ajñāna-timirandasya jnānanjana-śalakaya chakshulmilitam yena tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Shri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-kriya tyājyaṁ kāryam tat yajño-dāna-tapaḥ-caiva pāvanāni manīṣiṇām. These three meritorious activities were very conducive in the first three yugas. Yajña was for Treta Yuga. Tapa was for Satya Yuga. And charity is for Dwapar Yuga. These are the three main yugas where these purificatory processes have to be done through this recommended. In Kali Yuga, everything is topsy-turvy. There is no methodology for purifying. No methodology for purifying either through these three things. So, does it mean it has to be discarded? Kalau dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahad guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangam param brajit. It's only the Hari Kirtan is recommended for Kali Yuga. So why should we bother about yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-kriya? But here is the recommendation. Because it is purifying. It is purifying to the human beings if they continue to perform. But they do not know where to perform. There are no qualified people for performance of yajña. There are no qualified people to even make an austere tapasya for achieving Krishna consciousness. Because there are no jungles in Kali Yuga where one can go. And charity. What is so glorious to give charity with plastic money, credit card? In Dwapar Yuga, the charity was the means. And people were profusely giving charity through gold. Silver was not considered to be much of the standard even in Dwapar Yuga. And those who continued this tradition even in Kali Yuga, because this is what we call an overlapping period, because Kali Yuga just started 5,000 years back only, which is supposed to be lasting for 432,000. Means 427,000 are still there. So we call it a conjunction of Kali Yuga. And the temple worship is still going on, even though only holy name is going to act. So how do we reconcile all these things? If somebody wants to do tapa, we try to discourage him. Prabhu, don't waste your time. Tapa. Even though it is a purifying system, but for a Kali Yuga member, the society of the Kali Yuga is prayana alpayushya sabhya kalavasimin yuge janaha mandaha sumandamatayo mandabhagya upadrita. All these disqualifications are there. That makes a common person disqualified to go through yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma. But those who are able to do, then they are encouraged. Because when you sacrifice, means you give from your possession or from your knowledge, offer to somebody to help out. All these different kinds of yajñas that are recommended. Even the yajña for speech is there. Yajña for activity is there. One has to become expert, but it should be for the welfare of others. In Krishna consciousness, we are trying to apply yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma according to our means for the welfare of others, to encourage people to become beneficiary, make them beneficiary. We are the benefactor. So, Krishna is recommending that even though in Srimad Bhagavatam this is a very specific program which cannot be avoided otherwise, because it will come on its own merits or qualifications. Kalau dosha nidhe rajan asti eko mahadguna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangam param vrajet. But at the same time, simultaneously, yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma is also getting a proper Krishna conscious person qualified, and it is still going on. This is not controversy, but rather it is complementary. Of course, in the previous yugas, it's not that man was aborigine, what the modern science is thinking. Now, how can an aborigine do the tapakriya in Satya Yuga? But tapa was meritorious. There are so many incidents that might make it a controversy, but how it is to be applied in this age. Says, for example, Kardam Muni. He was one of the chief sons of Brahma, meant for becoming Prajapati, but he surpassed every aspects of, householder life. He became such a mendicant, and he was very austere, and he was performing tapa for several months together. So, yet as a living like more than a sannyasi, he was a very well, realized person who would always carry the Supreme Lord within his heart. And he was known for that. He was known for that. And during that time, when all these Brahma's sons who were ordained to become Prajapati, Kardam Muni was also begotten by Brahma to become Prajapati. And his life is very ideal, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, to be followed by householders. He was already renounced. He didn't need anything. He was living by himself in a small hermitage. But Kardam Muni was so intimate with the Supreme Lord in realization that Supreme Lord asked Kardam Muni, I want to become your son. And Kardam Muni was so much obliged to the Supreme Lord that he is giving something, a very, very difficult task for regular sannyāsīs to do. But Kardam Muni said, my dear Lord, your desires will be fulfilled. It means from a sannyāsī level, he has to come to become an ideal grahastha, to become exemplary. Now, this secret about the Lord telling Kardam Muni was known by Narada Muni. Manu and Shatrupa, Swayambhu Manu, and they were the progenitors because Brahma was frustrated in producing the prajas by mental conception or bringing out from his parts of bodies. Rudra was coming from his Bhrukuti, part of his body. The others were, Kumaras came from mental conception. Householder life is very difficult. Challenges are there. And Brahma faced the challenge because after all, when you have to be influenced by mode of passion, why not? Frustration will be there. The very first progeny of Brahma is 4 Kumaras. And they say, we want to remain in our innate childhood. We don't need to become grahastha. Sorry, Father, we are not fit for being Prajapatis. And Brahma got angry. So in the anger, Rudra came out crying. Rudra means one who comes, who is born crying from his forehead. Brahma didn't have wife at that time. But he was impelled by the predominant mode of Rajoguna. Kama esha, krodha esha, Rajoguna, samudbhava. So he became the first example. So even though austerity, Brahma's austerity is well known. When he was born, he couldn't find his origin. He was so much frustrated that he somehow or another got impetus by 2 words of Hiranyagarbha, said tapa, tapa. So it started, ringing in the ear of Brahma, and he said, yeah, yesterday I had to wake up and perform tapa also. But that yesterday was 24 hours afterwards. So he remembered. So he had to perform, I think, 1000 or 100 celestial years in tapa to regain his memory back that what he has done yesterday, he had to do the same thing repeatedly this year also. And so he can, provide the mandate that he has been given to populate the whole world with all different living entities. Brahma produced demigods also, but they were all suspended during that time, and the material management was not conducive. But the tapa was there, and the result of tapa is regaining the memory back. All right? One has to be austere. Today also tapa is in form of going to the school or college or universities. So much grilling exercises one has to go through. It is almost like tapa. More it is becoming complicated. But that is for only a career to maintain the body, nothing else. No particular education was given regarding what is the aim of the life, who are you, and what you should do. No. Brahma was empowered, still he got entangled, knowingly getting entangled. And he started getting reaction. So, Grahastha life was not that easy then, and now also it is not easy. Because it is meritorious activity of tapascharya. Now, how many in Kali Yuga are going to perform tapascharya, the austerity? It will be imposed upon the parents who are willingly indulging or diving into the system. But they do not know. The Vivāha-yajña, nobody wants to perform yajña. They want to perform only receptions. They don't want to perform yajña. For performing yajña means it's a lifelong vow to tolerate all the inconveniences that are going to come in the entanglement of grahastha. Most of the householders complain. It's not a question of complaint. It's a question of carry on the duties of that. And even though sannyāsīs do not have anything to do because they gave up, but yet they will not be free from allowing the marriage system to go on. They will not be free. They will have to understand and support it. Right. So anyway, meritorious activities of yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-kriya, it purifies. But after purification, it is said that they receive the holy name to go back home, back to Godhead, not before that. Get your physical situation, material situation purified, and then you will be qualified to receive the holy name. The holy name was so rare at that time. So in the ideal situation, when Kardam Muni was approached by the father of Devhuti, Manu Maharaj, and Shatarupa came because Narad Muni influenced Devhuti. Devhuti, this Kardam Muni is very fit husband for you. Because this is the secret. The Lord is desiring to become his son. So Devhuti went to Manu Maharaj and Shatarupa and requested, if you want to get me married, because my two sisters are already married, to Daksha Prajapati and Atreya Rishi. I'm sorry. Atreya and Anusuya. Okay. So Daksha Prajapati got Prasuti. Akuti was married to who? Angira Muni. So they were the sons of Brahma, and they started their grahasthashram. All the progeny of other rishis, that Brahma produced through the mental conception, they also got engaged, but they were waiting. But later on, because in the ideal character to establish grahasthashram, somebody has to become an example. An example. And Kardam Muni got down from that highest, level. He was more than a Paramhamsa even. What to speak of sannyāsī? He agreed. When Manu and Shatrupa came and requested that Devhuti is qualified, so Kardam Muni said yes. There was no shame from the highest level to come to a grahastha level. Now, none was higher than the other in Satya Yuga. They were all qualified. They know the deeper meaning of the instructions of the Shastras. And they never gave up because it was the means of purification. Yajña was there in Treta Yuga, but tapa is for Satya Yuga. Charity is for Dwapara Yuga. And these three meritorious activities are purifying in any yuga. So they should not be given up. That's what Krishna is telling. But Prabhupada is putting that sannyāsīs have nothing to do with marriage ceremony. It doesn't mean that it has to be discarded. All the proper procedures in the marriage ceremony is to instill that why in the first place a husband and wife are chosen even through the agency of the friends or family, but they have to go through this ritualistic process of Vivāha-yajña. All the 16 sanskaras, purificatory processes, they have to be performed through yajña vidhi. It's maybe pancharatriki vidhi, but that is approved because ultimate goal of pancharatriki vidhi is to bring the couple or the progeny, that means from the general populace, to the level of become qualified to make further progress towards devotional service. And after that they were receiving the holy name, because holy name was the rarest thing. So there might be aborigines there in Satya Yuga, there were also there in Dwapara Yuga, they were also there in Treta Yuga, and they are also there in Kali Yuga, aborigines. It's not what the modern science thinks that aborigines, our forefathers, they came from monkeys. No. Aborigines are found at every level. So Homo sapiens, this skull is also found in every level of the strata and geology. So where is the question that man has emerged out from monkeys? Prabhupada easily said, Darwin's father may be monkey, but my father was like that. So, what is essential is the purification. Right? In Kali Yuga, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the holy name has been the prime purifying agent. And that's what he brought. Previous to that, people were abusing all the three processes, yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma. Brahmins were required to perform the yajña vidhi. And Brahmins were supposed to do the charity also. They are supposed to receive. Dadati pratigrahnati, bhungte bhojayate, guhyam prachati akhyati cha. These are the three sets of our devotional activities. But at the same time, for the Brahmins of Kali Yuga, who were abusing the Vedic process of sacrifice, yajña, just to offer as sacrificial animal, and then they were eating it. So this was completely a misunderstood, imitative idea. Somebody introduced without the proper injunctions going through the Vedas. Therefore, Lord Buddha has to come. But you see, from 5,000 years back, the very first incident that is described, the onset of Kali Yuga, was cow killing. Parikshit Maharaj challenged that Kali, and still Kali tried to get his way to reside in slaughterhouses, to reside in prostitution houses, to reside in intoxicant places, and gambling. That we know. So we have to refrain from not participating in Kali Yuga induced places. But to curtail, Krishna has devised that my own Vedic authority I have to nullify. So Lord Buddha came. Nindasi yajña vidhe sruti jatam sadaya radaya darshita pashugatam keshavadrita buddha sharira jai jagadisha. To establish sanity, you can employ atheism. But yet it was tricky to concentrate on oneself and nothing after this body, you will get nirvana or you will become Buddha yourself. But in Vishnu Puran, Lord Vishnu is telling Shivji, you are only fit to do this job, so why don't you make a treatise on my words, twist them with a different meaning that induces atheism, because Buddhism is atheism that I induced, but you also do an atheism in disguise, but bring back the authority of the literatures, Vedic literature. That's why Adi Shankar did Sharirik Bhashya on Bhagavad-Gita and twisted the mind in impersonalism. Even though Krishna directly speaks, he is a person. Instead of understanding his personality, people misused. But result was there, Buddhism was kicked out. And again, the authority of the Vedas was brought in back. And even in Padma Puran, Shivji tells Parvati in advance, listen, I got a job. Lord Vishnu told me. So, I have decided to advent myself as a Brahman boy. And I will write a false doctrine on Bhagavad-Gita called Sharirik Bhashya. And I will twist the mind by my equivocal strength of usage of Sanskrit grammar to change the meaning and put some kind of bug in their mind so they will never become, Krishna conscious. But I will be able to place back the authority of the Vedas. So this was a tough task. But he did it to fulfill his master's desire. So we get two quotes, one from Vishnu Puran, another from there's which one? Padma Puran. Okay. Vishnu Puran and Padma Puran, they are very contemporary to prove so many things that are hidden in general history. People do not know. Only by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we come to know because he was very precise. So, when we try to understand the ideal grasthashram of Kardamuni and Devahuti, which is recommended, and it came as a tradition, that the bride is Lakshmi and the groom is Vishnu. They are still inviting and respecting this method. So, both are worshipped with full arati. When they arrive, the groom is worshipped by the mother-in-law, and when the bride has to go, then she will be worshipped by her mother-in-law. But the idea is that they are bound by Kali Yuga and bound by the instructions also. So how to float in the ocean of faults of Kali Yuga? Keep floating. That was the instruction. And this is vividly described in the ideal grasthashram in 7th canto, 14th chapter. And everybody is requested to study it because it is extremely important. What is the purpose? We carry the purpose of Brahma, furthering. Animals are also taking care of their tribes and species of life. There are no instruction required because they are all under nature's law. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. But what is the trouble with us? We become vimudha. Mudha bhava. Why? For human being, it is required that he must understand the ideals of grasthashram. And there are no replacement for the ideals. There are no replacement. Very strict following what are the functions of ideal grahastha. And why? Because every time it is Krishna conscious principle will be there to embrace the entire life of both husband and wife. It will keep them straight on the target of achieving Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, griha andhakupam, because of disobeying the tenets of ideal grahasthashram. We give seminars for 6 days, and it is understood through the principle, but at the same time it will be more practical if we put into practice. And Srila Prabhupada desired that to establish an ideal Daivi Varnashram system in ISKCON will be most exemplary to show for the whole world how come this society can be really peaceful. But looks like we do not have enough numbers to exhibit, and nobody stresses much on this process of Vivāha-yajña. Yajña means sacrifice. They don't talk of sacrifice anymore. It becomes a ritual. But nobody is there to make them understand why we are doing it. Previously, sannyāsīs were not supposed to attend marriage ceremony. But this instruction that we do not discourage either. But we can give the required instructions that are missing in generalized marriage ceremony. Prabhupada is stressing because this will be the pivotal issue for forthcoming generations also. If we are very conducive to act according to the mandate of ideal grahasthashram, we will be contributing more in practical realization. So, grahasthas are equal to even sannyāsīs. Those who are following those rules and regulations, Prabhupada said, a brahmachari is also a sannyāsī, a grahastha is also a sannyāsī. And sannyāsī is supposed to be sannyāsī by detachment and other activities. So, they have to support both by words and means to carry on the functions of ideal behavior in any state of our existence, whether brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha or sannyāsī. So, yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-kriya na tyājyaṁ. Never give up. As soon as we have something, let's use it in Krishna conscious activities and education activity. Krishna consciousness is needed as education foremost. Out of the 7 purposes that are declared in Back to Godhead magazine, see, almost all are for education. All are for education. We celebrate all these festivals for education. It's not that, let the festivals come and Mahaprasad is following. Then it will spoil our consciousness. This is very important. So, anybody has any question?
Guru Maharaj, yajña means always there is some material which is consumed and the consuming media, agni or something like that. So in the japa yajña, how we actually compare?
What is consumed?
That is the one which we put like ghee or something. Ahuti.
Oh. Ghee is the medium that burns, and because it is panchagavya, that is to be part of it, so it is offered. Vishnu is not offered tel. Only ghee. Because cow is the epitome of sacrifices. Not by killing or sacrificing a cow. No, the functions of the cows are sacrificed because she is pure. And therefore, cow killing is forbidden. Even in Indian constitution, it is written cow killing is forbidden. But yet, there are rascals. More agents of Kalis are there. So, you know that verse Brahmarpanam hyabi brahmagno brahmana hutam brahmane tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. It's directly, hutam means the offering that is going to be burnt or consumed. It's unfortunate. When I was present at Allahabad temple, Radha Venimala to be installed, Jayapataka Maharaj's disciple Bhadracharu, he was well expert in performing the sacrifices and other. So we were sitting and Bhadracharu was trying to ignite the fire. It would not ignite. It would not ignite. I said, Bhadracharu, what do you think this? Maharaj, I know it, but he was given cow tallow. Sacrifice the cow, skin off the fat and squeeze out all the fat, that is called tallow, to use as ghee. It may smell the same. They pour, most of the cow, the ghee products are contaminated. About when Bhakti Rasamrita Swami was here, he conducted a survey and declared in Vrindavan which ghee is pure, which is not. And Amul was the best. Amul does not do. That is a vouch. Anyway, this is Kali Yuga, Prabhu. It corrupts the mind of the people when there is a lack of Krishna consciousness. Even though holy name is given directly without any pre-qualifications. Otherwise, yajña-dāna-tapaḥ-karma was pre-qualification. But here in Kali Yuga, those who receive the holy name, they must understand that they are receiving something which is very durlabham, very, very difficult to obtain. Therefore, the holy name is Mahadguna. And that also Krishnad eva, Kirtanad eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangam Param Rajayat. No other name. Even though Krishna has millions and trillions of names, but Krishna is the primary name of Vrindavan. They don't know, Brajavasi do not know who is Vasudeva. They don't know. We know Krishna only. So, try to become exclusively devoted to Krishna. You can understand his majestic aspect somewhere else, that's okay. But if you are in Vrindavan, therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us the target. Ārādhyastanaya vrajendra nandana tadhamam vrindavanam ramya kāśidupāsana vrajavadur vargena jākalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Amala Puranam Prema Pumartha Mahan Sri Chaitanya Matamidam Nanyata Tatopara. We don't have any other target but to target Krishna, son of Nanda Maharaj. And all the proofs are there. Therefore, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We have to spread this education. We are educating institute, so learn and teach. Thank you very much. I have another conference call at 7 o'clock. Hare Krishna. Jai Laukush. How are you, beta?
Fine, Maharaj.
Good?
How are you?
Okay.
How's health? You're looking
Jinda.
very lively.
All right.